Hi guys, so yesterday the Kentucky Derby was run and Rich Strike, the 80-1 odds horse, actually won the Derby. So it was an all-in, it looked like a fantastic event. I mean, Drake was there, Jack Harlow was there. I think, you know, Drake and Jack Harlow are on a collaboration and they were filming a video there too. So we expect to see something coming out of this shortly. Now onto the race. This race was fantastic. I mean, I watched it. It definitely, Rich Strike was in the back, and you know, in the last part there was this gallop, and Rich Strike came back, and the jockey, fantastic job, came in first, 80-1. So some lucky folks got that lucky bet, and I'm sure they did well. But you know what? Let's look at other things outside of the horse race, because there's a lot more going on in the horse race. The Kentucky Derby has been going on since 1875, uninterrupted. So this is something big for Louisville, man. Everyone knows that this big thing is coming. The first event in the Triple Crown, you know, the Belmont Stakes and the Preakness are next. I actually don't think Rich Strike will win the Triple Crown. It doesn't seem like that to me. This just looks like I'd rather call this horse Lucky Strike, but I could be wrong. But anyhow, everyone around was dressed quite well. As we know, horse racing, historically it's connected with English horse racing, you know, the British, and definitely the women out did come out with their hats, those fantastic hats. You know, sometimes you see it come out from Australia, where they definitely have these fancy hats, and some women are really trying to outdo themselves. There were beautiful ladies out, men were dressed sharp. It's one of those events that I definitely think that should be on the social calendar in your local city. The horse races, beautiful women, sometimes champagne, definitely the greenery, listening to the you know, the sounds of the announcers. It's a nice thing. It's a nice event. Back in Jamaica, where I'm from, we had our big place was Caymaners Park, and you know what, not as fancy as definitely not as fancy as the Churchill Downs in Louisville, but you know, it does have its own impact and its own effect. And Churchill Downs is not really named after Winston Churchill. It's really named after the Churchill family in Kentucky, and I think that one of the big guys is Samuel Churchill. But you know, it's a fantastic event, and as you can see, people really enjoy it. You know, some people, it's less about the race and more about the event. Now, Janet Jackson performed, and she did several costume change from black to orange. She was definitely good. I watched the performance. She brought in a lot of older hits that I remember. You know, growing up in the 80s, the late 80s, Janet Jackson was like the baby Jackson. And one of the songs I always remember is What Have You Done For Me Lately. I mean, that comes up so often in the corporate world. You know, you could do the best thing in the world, but you know, a few years later, the question is, what have you done for me lately? So it was great to see her out there. You know, she definitely is coming out of a divorce, and she has her child that she's raising, and she has been in the I don't think she has been in the spotlight for years, and definitely her whole life of being a mother, being a divorcee, that whole thing that happened years ago at the Super Bowl, and how she somewhat became blacklisted and all of that stuff. It's great to see her back, and I look forward to see if she's going to try to put forward some new stuff or even do a concert tour. But definitely it was great. It was a great event, and definitely something I'll be looking to watch next year again. Thanks.